I've just came on to just share a little bit about something that I was talking about with somebody else, and it was all around, don't know how to put this, but it is what we as a society believe curing is. So we always get told, we can't overpromise things, we can't claim that we can cure anything, because let's face it, we can't show that anything that we do in this life can mean that we'll never experience it again down the line. So the same goes with coughs and colds, or any other illness. We can take things that can help with the symptoms, but we can't guarantee it's not going to come back down the line. So that's how I perceive cure to mean. Well, that's how I think we're led to believe cure is. It means it'll never come back. But my perception of it is, if I've got a diagnosis and I go on to change certain things about my life, how I handle stress, maybe change my diet, have a look at things that I could maybe just be doing a little bit differently. It might not be anything major or any big dramatic changes, but is there anything that I can do to change the outcome or to reduce the outcome being as bad as what it could be? And I think for most things, you definitely can. Even all these conditions that, are lifelong conditions, we don't experience all the symptoms to the same extremes every day. There'll be days where we feel like we're coping a lot better, even if we don't feel 100%, but we're coping a lot better. And then there can be days where we feel like we literally can't get out of bed. So to me, if we can go through days where we're struggling a lot and days where we feel a little bit better, that shows that there's something happening within the body. There's maybe something happening within the life that's triggering certain things to be more of a struggle on some of those days. So what if we can look at what's going on in life, how we're feeling, what we might be up against physically, what we might be up against emotionally. What if working on those things can reduce the amount of days that are more of a struggle? So again, not necessarily curing, but for me, I've still got Graves' disease written on my medical notes. I'm still told that, there's a chance, because I was as bad as I was, that I could relapse in the future. But I also know there's a possibility that I won't. But if I continue to do all the things and live in the way that I was when I was really struggling, and I wasn't doing anything drastically bad, I was just struggling with life and wasn't reaching out to get any other help or support with it. If I was to go back to that and just assume that this is just how I've got to feel forever, I'm likely to keep relapsing. So what if we could look at it as, what can we do to minimise how much we struggle with it? We might go on to feel like we've cured ourselves because we're not having any symptoms, or we're having less symptoms. But, we're still being told we've got that condition, but it's not affecting our life as much. What if we can do that? So let's remove the fact that we've been told nothing can be cured. What if we can just make changes so that we don't suffer as much? Let's just think about that for a second.